we go. Yay.
Yay.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here and watching with me. I am Heather Ruth. I'm an intuitive life coach, and I'm here today to talk with this beautiful, gorgeous soul, Alison Beaumont. She is an artist here in our community of Lake Country, British Columbia. And she is working on this beautiful project called Voices of Hope. And I just wanted to share her vision and get her out there so that she can get more people into this project so that we can really start that ripple effect of hope, especially during these current times that we are living in. So Alison, thank you so much for coming on here with me and sharing your vision with the world.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I feel really grateful for you, for not only being one of my very first voices of hope, but also just for the opportunity just to get the word out there, because I really am actively looking for more people to participate. So this is a really great opportunity. So thank you for having me on board.
Oh, well, no, it's my pleasure. It was my pleasure to be a part of a project that as soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, I want to be a part of that. How do I get into that? Mm-hmm. And I know we hadn't even met before. And we kind of had been connecting through Instagram when I started my 64 days of gratitude sort of journey. And you kind of came with me along with me on that journey pretty regularly, actually. So I was like very grateful.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I remember that was you did you've done a couple of those 64 days of gratitude, and I think it was the first one that I was following along, and it was just really great timing, and I found that every day the gratitudes that you had really resonated with me, and it was just a really great process to go through. So thank you to you as well.
Oh, yeah, I love it. And I will do it every year. I've decided I'll do it every year in the fall. I feel like that's just like the best potent time. So tell us a little bit about how you thought up the Voices of Hope and what you're what's your big vision for it?
Okay, so my big vision is really just to get more hopefulness out there. It's hope is a sense that is almost intangible, but it's a really great way of being able to really lift each other up and really be able to share our hope for the future and our hope for humanity in general, but also hope in the current moment. I think is especially important when we consider everything that's happening in the world, not just with the pandemic, but also with the climate crisis, which is that's not going to be going anywhere. Like the pandemic might die down, but the things about climate are not going to be going away. And so far, I've worked with some really amazing folks like yourself who've really shared their insights about what makes them hopeful, and a lot of it is about people and connection, and that's actually where this came from. So I think it was in 2017, maybe 2018, I did a project where I was photographing and interviewing neighbors, female identifying folks within the Lake Country community, and interviewing them about what it meant to be a good neighbor or a supportive neighbor. And I found that really interesting about how we all do really rely on each other in so many different ways, especially when we don't have family close by. And as the pandemic started, like I'd been wanting to continue that work anyway, but this seemed like a really great opportunity just to kind of consolidate and put that together, but actually have it open up to the wider community and beyond Lake Country and beyond the Okanagan and just beyond.
Right.
So I put together a proposal for an artist in residence program. I wasn't successful, but I was still I wasn't successful in getting the grant for that, but I was successful in actually getting the idea together, putting the website together. So I'll mention it a couple of times just in case ever anybody's interested. So it's www.spiritofthemoment.ca is the website. And then on there, you'll find the Voices of Hope link in there. But it gave me the time to make a video. I put the social media channels together. So I had it all ready. And then the summer kind of took over, and I was like,
Yeah.
it's going to get easier. It's not going to get any harder. And then as we got into November, I think we all started to realize that we were going to be having a full winter of being locked down and being restricted and things like that. So I launched in November. So far, I've had 8 voices. I've got another one in the pipeline coming together. But really, my goal for this year, and I'm hoping that folks that are listening and maybe sharing this, I'd really love to have 50 voices by the end of this year. That is my goal. I'd love to have 50. And I'm really open just to working with folks that I do know, folks that I don't know, folks from far and wide. Like, I think hope is a universal thing. It's not something that is particular to Lake Country, in particular to the Okanagan.
I agree.
It's something that we need everywhere. And I'm so intrigued by every person that I meet and their unique perspective, their unique life experience, and how that kind of how that's brought together. I've done a couple of interviews with some different folks in the media, and often they've asked me and they've said, like, why do you photograph and then do the voice separate? And I did it intentionally because I'd done the same with the Neighbours project. And the reason being is that when I'm working with folks, I find that if I'm videoing them, they forget, it's too distracting, and they're not able to kind of speak as authentically as they would be able to if I'm just recording their voice and then doing the portrait separately. So I'm going to keep with that format. I would love to make this into a podcast as well. I'd love to do that too.
Yeah.
And maybe even an exhibition as well, because I think the idea of being able to hear other people and hear what they have to say, I think that actually creates the community as well and brings that people together. And the realization as well that we're, you don't have to be Brené Brown, and you don't have to be style to be inspirational, or to have, to be able to come up with those inspirational quotes. Like I looked through all of the voices so far, and in each one of them there's like a sound bite where I'm like, yeah, that's like, that could go on a mug or in a t-shirt or in a wherever it might need to go.
I love that. And I have to say that part of what I've been doing and following and watching you and then being a part of it, what I got from that for myself was that every ordinary people, we're just as inspiring as the influencers per se. And I think if not even more. And so we need more voices from the moms and the dads and the community leaderships that are really trying to make things better for everybody else. I recently just discovered that one of the biggest things that I'm here to do is to really understand humanity from a totally different core place for me. And everything for me is rooted in gratitude, because I am just grateful to be here and to be enjoying this human experience at this time. And I think we're all here to experience this at this time for a reason, because we're here to impact and make change.
Exactly. And I think the idea that any small change that we make in our lives or in how we interact with each other, or how we support change in the environment, then we're all making a difference. If we think that, well, it's just going to be a drop in the ocean, yeah, it is a drop in the ocean. But if we're all making a drop in the ocean, then it's going to make a big wave, and then we can really see the change. So, and I think just having the positivity, having some positive news out there instead of it being very, I hate to say it, but like apocalyptic about, well, this is what's going to happen. Well, I don't think that's the truth. Like, I think we have the power to change. And I think both you and I are role models for our families and for, and really, because then they're the generation that are growing up, and they're seeing the potential of like, whoa, if my mom can do this, like I can do anything.
Right. And I think that's beautiful. And I love that. And that's exactly what my mission is to help like heal this generation that's, you know, in the adult world, I guess you want to call it, or the parents of right now, is this: as we heal the generations coming below us. We help them understand their relationship to nature, and how can we be more in a rhythmic balance with her, because ultimately she's going to keep doing what she wants to do. Mother Earth is just going to keep moving on her rhythm, and she's going to keep going. And we've seen that. There's evidence to show her resiliency, but there's also evidence to show our own resiliency within humanity. And I think voices of hope, projects like myself doing the 64 days of gratitude, anyone that can share that light with the world, we need to be seen on big stages. The world needs us.
Yes.
Let's just face it, right?
Yeah, and you know, there doesn't need to be just one stage. There doesn't need to be, you know, like exclusive stages. There needs to be stages that are inclusive. And I managed to persuade my first male voice of hope, which, you know, you wouldn't think it was a challenge, but I've not had too many folks come forward. And but it was really great to hear that, right? And I think that is having that variety. Maybe I need some kids to come forward too.
I think that would be amazing, is actually to hear from that next generation what their idea of hope is and what hope that they have for the future. Because I think the millennials and everyone in the next whatever labels they put on them, that's their purpose in life. They are here to be that catalyst in that change, to be that action movers. We're creating the thought processes, we're changing the perspectives, but they're going to be the ones to really move that forward.
Yeah.
Right. And carry it for the future. And so I'd love to hear that. I think that's a great idea of bringing some of that generational in too, to show the different perspectives and visions that are out there for things like hope and love and gratitude, and how do we be one.
And I think I just want people to know as well that it's really low barrier. Like I don't make it difficult for people. It is just a case of, you know, like it can either be, you know, if you already know that you've got something that you want to say, we can record that and we can do a portrait. Or if you want to do it conversational style, then we can do it that way too. So I want to make it as easy as possible. You know, we can do it over Zoom if we need to. You know, we can record the sound over Zoom, and we can figure out how to do the portrait as well. So, you know, like there's lots of different ways that we can do this. But I think sometimes there's that idea that, well, it's going to be too difficult. But really, I'm just having a conversation with you about hope and what inspires you to be hopeful. So. Yeah,
I love that. It's so important. These are frequencies, high energy frequencies, things like hope and gratitude and love, right? They're at the higher end. And when we can come from these spaces, more people get drawn into us and they get drawn into that work. It's so beautiful. So how long have you lived here in Canada?
What you detected accent?
Well, I just know it.
So we've been living in Lake Country since 2008. It was November 2008. So yeah, we're getting up there.
Yeah, no, it's lovely. And I think, what brought you over this way? Work or just new experiences?
So my husband's always had family that's lived in Canada. So we were originally from the UK, and when I met him, we kind of came out and traveled, and he was kind of like, you know, would you like to move here? And I was like, yeah, this is pretty awesome. It doesn't rain all the time. So we checked out here in Lake Country because he's got some family here, and then also in Ottawa as well. But we decided that this was the best spot because it's kind of it's not too cold in the winter, and then it's nice and warm in the summer. It's got, I mean, I'm just amazed on a daily basis that we get to live in this amazing place. At the weekend, we were skating on Kalamalka Lake, and the kids found these bubbles under the ice.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was an amazing moment. Like I had to spend like 45 minutes photographing these beautiful bubbles in the water. And I was just like, wow, I'm just so grateful that I have this on my doorstep. And I can just be wowed by nature every day. I was down by the lake today and it was windy as hell, but it was just so alive.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
we are very blessed where we live. Definitely. I love this little small community. It's beautiful and powerful. The people that are in it are definitely about helping and raising people up. I definitely get that. We've had enough tragedies to show how a community can come together and really band to help support families that are in need. And I think that's beautiful as
Yeah.
well. So with you could leave everyone with just a little bit of something and then let me know how they can reach you. We'll put it in the comments here for the project. What is it that you're hopeful for right now?
I am really hopeful that we as the kind of the generation that are kind of in charge at the moment, we might not be able to change uh, everything within our lifetimes, but if we can inspire the next generation to make the changes that need to happen to continue living on this planet that we call home, then that is what I'm hopeful for, because I see every day in the young folks around me that they are inspirational and their imaginations take them to places that it just so far beyond, and they have they'll have the know-how and they'll have the knowledge to get the technology and get the nature and get the back in harmony again. And so I'm hopeful for the next generation, and that they are going to be empowered by what we do, and we are going to be in awe of what they achieve.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see that. I'm very hopeful for all of that. And in the spirit of who I am, what are 3 things that you are grateful for today?
3 things I'm grateful for today. Oh, so this morning I was so grateful that I got to see the sun rise over the mountaintops and the cloud formations. It was really, really beautiful. I am grateful that I get to create just about every day. I love being an artist and I love just creating. I'm grateful for that. And I'm also grateful for sleep as well. That is one thing. I'm saying that in gratitude for at the moment. I'm not, I feel like I haven't had a great amount of sleep in the last couple of weeks, but I know that it's just kind of how things are. And but I'm grateful for when I do get it. So
Yes.
I think sometimes it's good to be grateful for things that you don't quite have yet, because it kind of sets that intention that you're going to achieve it. So.
Yeah, feeling it. So if you can feel that gratitude today,
Mhm.
the whether or not it's something that's actually in the reality, when you can feel the gratefulness for that thing that you're looking for in the future, it's actually more likely to come to fruition, right? We're actually going to manifest it because we can already experience it in our bodies, which then propels us forward for that. And that's
Yeah.
one of the things I have with my clients is I always say, like, what do you want to feel today? And like, how do you want to feel in the future? Let's feel that future feeling, because then we're already living in that space,
Yeah.
whether, that path comes to fruition or not. So it's,
Oh, I was just imagining myself waking up late tomorrow, and late will be like 7 a.m., but that'll be still.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, for sure. I totally love that. So how will people like reach out to you, or if they want to be a part of this project of Voices of Hope? I highly recommend, if you have something you want to say, don't be scared about. It's not intimidating. It was the most freeing experience that I had. If you're local here in Lake Country, you get to meet Allison, you get to be in her presence, which is absolutely super calming. She takes gorgeous photography, and you get to share your voice. And I really like to see more people share their voice, especially coming out of the Okanagan, anyone in the world, British Columbia, Canada, all the other countries. What is your guys' hope for the next generations to come, or the next days to follow us in the future? And reach out to Allison. So how would they do that?
So there's a few ways that you can do that. So I have a couple of social media sites. So I have Voices of Hope. Facebook/voicesofhope.ca, or you can find me on Instagram, which is just at voicesofhope.ca. I also have an artist page as well, which is Alison Beaumont .art. And then I also have my website as well, which is spiritofthemoment.ca. Or if you want to send an email, you can do that too. And it's just Alison Beaumont at outlook.com. But yeah, there is a form that you can fill out on the website, and then that just sends me an email, and then I'll give you a call or text or a hello, and then we'll just take it from there, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, as
I would
little
love
as possible. But yeah,
I would love to see this project spread across the world. I'd love to see more people and all walks, ages, life, gender, whatever. I'd like to see everybody share their pieces of hope for the world. I know lots of people already are in lots of different spaces, but when you can get it put together in such a beautiful artistic kind of platform, maybe this can be the ripple effect that the world is looking for.
that's what we need. We need the ripple effect. We need the ripple from Heather and from me and from all these voices. And I really do truly believe that hearing those positive voices, I think it really does add to people's days or people's moments or whatever it may be. So yeah.
Absolutely. So try and find Allison Voices of Hope on Instagram, or Alison Beaumont. You can reach out to me too if you want to get a hold of Allison. I can help guide that introduction as well. So if anyone who's following me here or any of my groups, I just want to say thank you, Allison, for joining me today. Go out and enjoy that sunshine that we got today here in Lake Country. And I am grateful for you. I'm grateful for this new connection that we made and the community in which we live in.
Yeah. Thank you too. Thanks.
Okay. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.